Unless your edges got the strength of the Lord, you probably gonna lose some edges. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's all that jazz. We're on the road to 1K, so go ahead and subscribe today by clicking that red subscribe button. So today I'm bringing y'all another video about sister locks. I noticed there's been a lot of different videos on sister locks, but it's been a minute since I have shared like my complete journey from when I first got them until now. But I did want to go do like an overview from then until now. In the beginning, like I always say, I had questioned and wasn't super sure and confident about just having loose natural hair, and it took me a while to be like, okay, I did all my thorough research, I did all my questions. You can watch multiple videos about what you should probably be asking your loctician when you're looking for one. So some example questions would be, how often do you think I need my hair retightened? How often should I shampoo my hair? Just all about the sister lock journey. Watch multiple videos on YouTube. You can even read articles. I would follow a bunch of different sister lock people on Instagram to kind of see where their journey was going. And I think the most interesting journeys for me that I found to see the progress is people who had like finer hair or thinner hair in the beginning, and to see like where they are now, or even people whose hair might have started off really short, and within like a small time span or even 5 years their hair is like all the way down here. And then I even started looking into like micro locks. So I was considering micro locks, sister locks, and those were the main two I was just kind of like back and forth with. And then I just decided to go with sister locks, just because it was with what I was more familiar with, and also I was more comfortable finding someone who was actually like trained in doing sister locks versus like micro locks. I'm not familiar with a lot of people who are like trained in micro locks. It was just kind of like I know how to do them when I would do my own research. I'm not saying people aren't at all, but yes, basically we start from the beginning. So if you watch my installation video, which I'll put here, and you can click in the description box below, you will see that I started off with basically like 4B4C hair. My hair was extremely short and it was on the finer side. My hair was very soft and very I wouldn't say thin to the point where it was like breakage, but it's just like I had a finer hair. It wasn't like super thick. That was one thing that I did not enjoy about loose natural hair. Like I said before, I always wanted like this voluminous, like boom, full hair, but that is not how I started. Seeing your hair get to this fullness or like the length after being loose natural is like super exciting, but you just have to get through the stages of this is not like the best or the cutest, and then you'll make it. But I am going to insert some pictures and some clips so that you guys can see. But to me, the most memorable part of the journey was when I first started, and for a long time, and even now, my hair is still not completely locked, but it's definitely thickened up. But I think seeing it go from like tiny little kind of like braids to like a little bit thicker at the ends, and slowly making this thickness to the roots, you know. Another thing that I did see over time was that my locks ended up, I did have some times where some locks fell out, but my most memorable was in the beginning, which was maybe the 3 to 6 month stage-ish, where my scalp was like extremely itching. It was kind of weird because it was just like a time period where it was like itchy, because my scalp was like, wait, whoa, you're not washing me literally every 2 weeks anymore, or you're literally not conditioning me every 2 weeks. Like, what's going on? You know, I feel like your scalp has to adjust. So I feel like it's definitely part of the process. And then knowing like if your loctician does allow you to use oils at that point, or what you can do. And I know a lot of locticians recommended tea tree oil. Once you start, you know, trying to revive your scalp, then your hair gets to the point where it's like, okay, I'm back and I'm better. Then you do go through the stage of like the shrinkage being extremely real, where like even now I notice like this is not, my hair hasn't been retightened in almost, it'll be 4 weeks next week. So I noticed that like if my hair, when I do get it retightened, it's like kind of like here, and then as obviously it grows, it like shows a little bit of length. So I think my hair ended up like more so locking when I got to my first year. Honestly, like between 9 and 12 months is when I started seeing like, oh, okay, like I'm starting to see these ends lock up. And then as I creeped up into my second year, that's when I actually saw that the locks dropped a little bit more so. I think my locks dropping, the shrinkage changing, and like the length, the scalp, all of those were like the most visible changes and the things that made me like enjoy the process even more. I would say with the Sister Lock journey, you, of course, like I always say, embrace your own journey and understand that only your journey is yours. And everybody's is different. Like I always say that in every video if you ever watch them, that they're different. And then with Sister Locks, you definitely learn patience, because you have to know that your hair will eventually get to the point that you want it to be, hopefully. Also have to go ahead and write in that financial commitment into your budget, because Sister Locks aren't cheap. And especially that initial investment, but after that, to me, it's absolutely worth it. And I always say Sister Locks is the journey to freedom that you never knew you needed. And y'all know I always talk about, unless you're new here, then welcome to the channel. I always talk about how convenient Sister Locks are, whether that be for like traveling or just get up and go, or you're just tired of having to maintain different styles. And I think the biggest misconception with Sister Locks is that people are like, I can't not change my hair up a lot. And to me, Sister Locks is not as versatile as wigs and braids and color. No, but you can, number one, you can put color in your Sister Locks whenever you're a loctician approved. When you get to that point, that whole misconception is wrong. You can get color, up to you. Then you can also still put braids in it. Is, you know, it's just like basically tiny little braids. And then you just don't want to be having tight styles all the time, just like you wouldn't with your natural hair. Another thing is that I feel like there's a lot more styles out there for Sister Locks that locticians sometimes, like, they'll charge you, of course, but it'd be like $25. It's not a terrible price that you can add on to get a style done if you're going to like a special event or whatever it is. But I find myself mostly enjoying like the simple styles of just like the twist or a bun, or like a low bun, a high bun, all down, or like a middle part, side part. And those are the styles that like I really enjoy most. But I never was into hair that big to say I want to try a million different like complex styles. I probably would pay somebody to do a style, like if I was having a special event and I really wanted something really unique or different. Then, you know, it's nothing to just say here's another $25-$30 depending on what that style is, you know. So I think people really misconceive Sister Locks as in like, oh no, like my hair has to be stagnant forever, my hair has to be the same, I never can have anything different or anything. No, anytime and a lot of times I do see Sister Locks, somebody got some kind of like, I don't see blue or like green or like different wild colors for Sister Locks. I do usually see like the brown or blonde or something like that. So I think it's just more versatility that is to it than people think or realize. You just have to bring it on your own or have somebody else do it for you. But you don't have to feel like it's just like a boring style that's like, oh no, I can't do anything. But it is best for people, to me, who have like a busy lifestyle, who don't really enjoy doing their natural hair every single day or every couple weeks. Some people really truly enjoy it. Back to the journey, I think that it's a fun journey. I think like when I first started, I always say, I was not in love with it, but I didn't hate it where I was like, we need to take this out. And usually I'm very quick to say, this not cute, we gotta. But I knew and seen and watched so many people's journeys, I was like, it's coming soon. And you cannot care what people think either, because some people, when you initially get it, probably gonna be like, why she do that to her hair? Like, that is not even cute. But then they gonna see you like a year later or 6 to 9 months later and be like, oh, that's not too bad, you know. Because I look back at my pictures, I do, and I'd be like asking my husband like, why you ain't even tell me? Why? But you know, he trusted the journey too. But anyway, at the end of the day, it's your opinion. It's what you like, what you feel comfortable in, what you feel confident in, what you feel pretty in. The journey is not, I wouldn't say it's like easy. And I do think you can have bad hair days with Sister Locks. Some days I wake up and I'm like, ooh, I'm loving it. And then some days I'm like, do I need a retightening or some moisture or some water or a wash? Like, what's going on today? Like, some days that does happen. You wouldn't really think that with Sister Locks. You would think like, how can you ever have a bad hair day? But like, if you know, you know. It's a journey. Like, honestly, you should take part of it if you're interested in it. But look at y'all would think that I'm really running a SISTERLOCKS journey cult over here, but I'm not. I hope that this was helpful for anybody who's like thinking about it or contemplating it, or even just curious about like how SISTERLOCKS go. I think what's most surprising about the journey is that I wouldn't think that I could still see a little bit of the locking pattern, or like the like how she locked it. You can still see that within there sometimes, because it's not completely locked. Like, I didn't think like 2 years into it that would still be the case. Another interesting thing about it is that I feel like when you get SISTERLOCKS, you see which part of your hair is different. The back of my hair locked way quicker than the front. Like, you can see some of the ends are still like, I'm trying to get there, but then the ends like down here are like, oh, I'm there, I'm ready, like I'm pretty much here for you, you know. So then you start seeing like the different textures all around your head, and like you're like, oh, like this part was probably a little bit on the thicker side, and this was like on a thinner side. And like, I think the biggest thing too is like those edges, y'all. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, you will lose some edges. Like, unless your edges got the strength of the Lord, you probably gonna lose some edges. But and that means like perimeter hair, or even in the back. I feel like when I was talking to my loctician, I'm not even gonna show y'all right now, I can't do that to myself on here, but my loctician was like, yeah, we just gonna wait for I have some missing back here actually that had fell out, and she was like, yeah, we just need to wait for it to grow out a little bit, and then we'll lock it back up. But I do know that that's part of the process too, that I didn't really know until later on. If you have SISTERLOCKS and you like them, then go ahead and drop a pink emoji. And if you are thinking about SISTERLOCKS, then comment below what's stopping you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.